Let us see main exercise question 2.5. A new unit of length is chosen such that the speed of light in vacuum is unity. What is the distance between Sun and Earth in terms of this new unit if light takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to cover this distance? See, understand the question. Here, the new unit of length is chosen. A new unit for length is chosen in which the speed of light in vacuum is taken as unity. That means the speed of light is taken as one unit in this new unit system. And now the distance between Sun and Earth has to be given in this new unit system. We have to give the distance between Sun and Earth in this new unit system when the light takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to cover this distance. Now, speed of light in vacuum is V is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. This is in SI unit system. But we have to take this speed as one unit in the new unit system. Now let us say in the new unit system, the name of the unit of speed is x. So we can say this is 1x because it is said that the speed of light in vacuum is taken as unity. That's why we are writing speed of light, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, as one unity. It is one unit. This x is the name of that unit in the new unit system. Okay, now we know that speed is distance upon time. And so from this we can write that distance is equal to speed into time. Now using this equation we can write the distance d, that is equal to speed. Speed is 1x into time. Time is 8 minutes and 20 seconds. So it is 1x into, now 8 minutes is 480 seconds and then 20 seconds again, so that becomes total 500 seconds. So d is equal to 1x into 500 seconds, or more precisely I can write now as 500 x second. So this is the distance between Sun and Earth in terms of new unit system, that is d is equal to 500 x second. You can also write it like x was which we have assumed. So at the place of x now I can put d is equal to 500 new units. We don't know the name of new unit. X was just we have assumed, but let us say whatever the new unit is. So we can write d is equal to 500 new unit. That is our final answer. Now main exercise question 2.6. Which of the following is the most precise device of measuring length? The first is a vernier calipers with 20 divisions in the sliding scale. See, vernier calipers is a device which is having two scales altogether. One is the main scale and another is known as vernier scale, or sometimes known as the sliding scale. So in this sliding scale there are 20 divisions. Now more the divisions in the sliding scale, more precise is the measurement. I repeat, more the division in the sliding scale, or say the vernier scale, or also sometimes known as a secondary scale. If there are more divisions in the secondary scale, then that device will be always more precise. And normally number of division in this secondary scale is 10. In case of vernier calipers, in the secondary scale there are 10 divisions. Here there are 20 divisions. The second is a screw gauge of pitch 1 mm and 100 divisions in the circular scale. Here also this circular scale is the secondary scale and it is having 100 divisions. The third is an optical instrument that can measure length to within a wavelength of light. Optical instrument that can measure length to within a wavelength of light. Let us see one by one. See, precision depends on least count of the measuring instrument. More the least count, less the precision. Less the least count, more the precision of the measuring instrument. Now, particularly for vernier calipers and micrometer screw, we can use this equation of least count. See, least count is equal to distance of one division in main scale and divide by number of divisions in secondary scale. As I said, this vernier calipers as well as micrometer screw as well as ferrometer all are having two scales. One is the main scale and another is secondary scale. So the least count is distance between distance of one division in main scale. In main scale there are divisions and every division is having some minimum distance. So the distance of one division in main scale divided by number of divisions in the secondary scale. So in our first question, let us say A, here there is vernier calipers. So for A, let us say the least count, and here I will put vernier calipers V. Least count of vernier calipers will be distance of one division. Now in vernier calipers, the distance of one division will be 1 millimeter and divide by, there are 20 divisions. It is already said that there are 20 divisions in the sliding scale, that means in the secondary scale. So it is 20. I should put here 20. And so this is 0.05 millimeter, or you can say 0.005 centimeter. Now let us see the least count of the micrometer screw gauge. Least count of screw gauge. So I'll put here S is equal to, see here it is said that the pitch is 1 millimeter. Again here also the pitch is the distance of one division in main scale, and that is given 1 millimeter. So I'll put here 1 millimeter divide by, there are 100 divisions in the circular scale, that means in the secondary scale. Secondary scale is of circular kind. So here it is 0.01 millimeter, or you can say it is 0.001 centimeter. That is the least count of the screw gauge. Now in the third case, an optical instrument is used. So in that case, the least count of this optical instrument, let me put like O, can be taken from the wavelength of light. See, this is an optical instrument, so there are no main scale and secondary scale, but it is said that this instrument can measure length to within a wavelength of light. Means it can measure a length up to the wavelength of light. Now we know that wavelength of light is of the order of 10 raised to minus 7 meter, because you know that wavelength of light is from 4 into 10 raised to minus 7 meter to 8 into 10 raised to minus 7 meter. That's why we can say it is of the order of 10 raised to minus 7 meter. The wavelength is of the order of 10 raised to minus 7 meter for any optical instrument. And so the least count will be also 10 raised to minus 7 meter. 10 raised to minus 7 meter. And so we can write it is 10 raised to minus 5 centimeter. Means 0.00001 centimeter. Now it is very clear from all of these three values that the least count of the optical instrument is the smallest. Then comes the least count of screw gauge, and then comes the least count of the vernier calipers. So it's clear that the most precise device is optical instrument. So optical instrument is the most precise device. This is our answer. Now, main exercise question 2.7. A student measures a thickness of a human hair by looking it at through a microscope of magnification 100. He takes 20 observations and finds that the average width of the hair in the field of view of the microscope is 3.5 millimeter. What is the estimate on the thickness of hair? Here a student is measuring the thickness of human hair, for which he is using a microscope of magnification 100, and from this microscope he is seeing this hair and watching it like 3.5 millimeter of thickness. Means through this microscope the thickness of hair appears to be 3.5 millimeter. Then the question is, what is the estimate of the thickness of hair? That means what is the estimate of the real thickness of the hair? Let's see. Here the magnification of microscope is given, and that is 100. Then the width of image is 3.5 millimeter. Means through that microscope when we see this hair it appears to be 3.5 millimeter. That is the image. So the width of image is 3.5 millimeter and the width of object is what we want to find out. That means the real width. Real width is what we want to find out. Now this is very simple because magnification is equal to width of image upon width of object. This is what you have already learned in optics, and so now we can say the real width that means the width of object can be written as width of image divided by the magnification. And so finally we can write the real width of hair will be width of image was 3.5 divided by the magnification was 100. So it is 3.5 into 10 raised to minus 2 millimeter, and that is our answer. Now main exercise question 2.8. Answer the following. A. You are given a thread and a meter scale. How will you estimate the diameter of the thread? B. A screw gauge has a pitch of 1 millimeter and 200 divisions on the circular scale. Do you think it is possible to increase the accuracy of the screw gauge arbitrarily by increasing the number of divisions in the circular scale? And then C. The mean diameter of thin brass rod is to be measured by vernier calipers. Why is a set of 100 measurement of the diameter expected to yield a more reliable estimate than a set of 5 measurements only? Okay, let us see every question one by one. First, in case of A, we have to estimate the diameter of the thread. So what we can do, we can take a cylindrical type of thing, let us say a pen or something like that only, and on that we will wind this thread, keeping them very close to each other, tightly wound and very close to each other like this. Up to some n number of turns. Let us say the number of turns are n here. Now we will measure the length L. Here is the length L of the total threads wound on this pen. So it's very clear now that the thickness, or say the diameter of thread will be equal to L upon N. L is the total length of all the N threads and N is the total number of threads. So L upon N becomes the thickness of one thread, or say it is the diameter of one thread. Now let's see B. Here the answer is yes, because the least count of screw gauge is given by pitch divided by number of division in the circular scale. Here you can see that number of division is in denominator, and pitch is the distance of one division in the main scale. So that remains constant. Here it is said that if we increase the number of divisions in circular scale, whether the accuracy will increase or not. The answer is yes, because as we increase the number of division in circular scale, the least count will decrease. As least count will decrease, the accuracy of measurement will also increase. But practically it is very difficult to increase the number of divisions in a circular scale, because mostly the number of division in the circular scale is of a number 100. So now if we wish to increase it up to, let us say, 500 or 1000, then it is very difficult. And even by, let us say, some laser technology or something, if we increase up to 500 and 1000 divisions, then also the resolution of our eye will not allow us to see the numbers of the division distinctly. Means due to the limitation of the resolution of our eye, we won't be able to see the divisions clearly. Now let us see answer C. Here we should understand one thing, that whenever a physical quantity is measured, random errors are produced, and this random error can be positive or negative. Now if we take only 5 measurements, then the total sum and then the average of this 5 random errors may not be vanished totally. But if we take, let us say, 100 measurements, then there will be, let us say, 100 random errors. But we will be taking the average of this 100 random errors, which will be positive and negative both. So the final result will have a very minor value of random error, or maybe it will be just 0. That means by increasing the number of observation, we can reduce the random error in the average value. That's why it is always better to take more observations to reduce the random error. And so here, to measure the diameter of the brass rod, a set of 100 measurements of diameter is expected to yield a more reliable estimate than a set of 5 measurement only. So we should write here that taking large number of observations reduces the effect of random error in the final, that means the averaged result. So if we take more number of observations, then the random error will be also averaged out, and so it will be reduced in the final result, because the random errors are positive and negative. So the average of this large number of random errors will be nullified almost.